said, excuse me, but you don't understand where I'm at. I was all around the world on span.
Hello, everyone. This is Andreas, Pop Culture Guy. Today's Monday report.
Crack
here.
addict.
Fuck you. Anyway, first F-bomb tonight, folks, for the spectacular Austrian show of The Penguin, Episode 7. Daryl Dixon, Season 2, Episode 6, Finale Live Recaps. That's right. Of course, you see here Cyber eating his pasta, very Admiral-like, which is crazy. And then you got Jeff here over there doing his thing. So, yeah, we're back to do another spectacular Monday replay, folks. How's everyone doing here, guys? Can't believe it. November. We're already in November, folks.
Oh, I am fantastic. I gotta give props to the awesome Avengers hat that Jeff is wearing. That is the coolest Avengers hat you can ever get. If you need it, you should look for it, people. It's worth the buy.
It's a good Avengers hat.
Yeah. I mean, the color scheme is great. Yeah.
Crimson red and the gold.
Yeah, it's a good Avengers hat. I like it.
Yes. So, all right, let's get on here. Our episode here is The Penguin, Episode 7, Coral Top Hat. Great title. I thought that was a good nod to the Penguin's, usual top hat he usually wears as a comic book character, but it's also a reference to a classic Hollywood movie that they see in this episode, but that's really nice. So, just general thoughts, guys. I'll start with you, Jeff. What do you thought about Episode 7? Do you like it? Are you pumped for next week, for the finale? I'm like, oh my God, it's crazy week, sir, for the Penguin. Go ahead.
I'll be disappointed to see the Penguin end. No, he asked me.
Okay.
I don't want to see the Penguin. I'm not looking forward to the Penguin ending necessarily.
No.
Because it's good. It's been a reliable, TV show to watch here for a while. Episode 7 was really high quality TV. Another consistent episode in the tank for what's been just a really great production of excellent, well shot, well written, well composed, well themed TV series, that's, I'm assuming, was produced by HBO Studios. I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming was produced by HBO Studios, and doesn't surprise me that that the quality of the TV show is super, top end, high quality, Matt Reeves style, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Style type filmmaking. My only gripe with Episode 7 was that there was no Vic in it. There was no Vic. There was like a little bit of Vic, and then there was no Vic at all for the rest of the episode. So, that was a little bit of a disappointment because I dig Vic. He's easily like the second most interesting character on the show, probably. Or like the third most interesting character on the show, probably. After Sophia and the Penguin. So not having him around kind of sucked. But that's pretty much it. I've really enjoyed the show so far. Solid 7 episodes. And I'm sure the finale will probably be really good.
No, I agree. Yeah, I today I saw the second time. I didn't realize that. Yeah, Vic was not enough for the episode. But we're gonna probably see him more next week, hopefully. But if not, we're gonna see him in probably part 2, which is great. Because I really like Vic, as you say, for Jeff. He's been a really good character for the Penguin. Cyber, now is your turn, Cyber, my friend. I hope you're done with your pasta eating. Go ahead. What's your thought on this episode? Are you going to be sad that the show's going to end very soon next week? This is crazy.
Yes, I am going to be very sad that next week is the finale. This has been one of the best shows of 2024 so far. And I hate to see good content end when it's entertaining, well written, doesn't have any stupid shit in it, and actually is a part of something that is actually really intriguing, really enjoyable, really entertaining. And this show has really given us a great addition to the Batman universe. And it's done a great job of continuing the story that Matt Reeves started in the Batman last 2022, and has given us a lot to look forward to see what's going to happen in the second Batman film. So this has been fantastic. Colin Farrell is phenomenal, and it's been a super joy to watch this every week and actually enjoy and want to watch it every week and actually come out satisfied and feeling, holy shit, I just watched something that was actually normal again. It was just fantastically done, and I'm really sad it's ending next week.
Yeah, crazy. Time flies for 7 weeks. But yes, but don't worry, we got one episode to discuss, and then next week, we'll say our our goodbyes. But anyway, let's get into this episode. So we have another flashback. So we have another major important flashback for this episode here, where we see young Oz, here with his young mom, played by I think I recognize the actress, but I'll get to her name later. Young Francis, the mom, and then we see his brothers Jack and Benny, that we get constantly referenced throughout this season, and confirmed that they apparently died, but I will see in this flashback, Oz is very much resentful for the affection that his siblings receive from the mom. So mom told Jack to take this I think book that has probably like earnings or something like that, of like the amount of paying of money for something like that, for mafia thing. If you haven't seen those type of things, like casino, and that's in that particular movie, we discussed this one guy had to track down the amount of money that the consumers were making, and pretty much what the mafia finally take from them. It's someone like that. So while they walk in the streets, the brothers run into the notorious criminal Rex Clapris. Rex, we got reference to the first episode as that's the person that Penguin idolized and wants to be, as we heard the story from episode 1. And Rex gives $50 to Jack, and pretty much thank him for for that thing. As we see here, Oz is very affectionate with Rex. He knows that he's a gangster, and while the siblings are talking, while their area starts to rain, the siblings go to the abandoned underground railway, as we seen from 2 episodes ago, where Penguin is using his drug operation now, with the Bliss. And, they play a game hide and seek. Now, of course, Jack and Benny are hiding in the overflow tunnel, the more deep one, and which, Penguin has a difficult time going to the ladder, because, Oz has a disability. Of course, we still hear that he still has the bracelet on his leg, and which frustrates Oz because he's not able to access that. So as angry as Oz is, he locks his two two brothers in the overflow tunnel before leaving for his house. And of course he meets up with his mom, lies to her that the 2 brothers is going to see a movie. By the way, I like it's very funny that he the movie that he kind of randomly picked his Beetlejuice. That's very funny. I really like that. Of course, Nani to Tim Burton. Of course, his Batman films and all that. Really nice. And here, he's alone with his mom, and so they go to the couch and watch Top Hat and the classic movie. And then while this is happening, we get an intercut here where While Oz and the mom is watching Top Hat, we see Jack and Benny go for help to no avail during the tunnel, and they're actually driving in the tunnel during the rainstorm. Really horrifying. Just shows another side of Penguin. Like, despite his good intentions and more humane aspect, he's still a very crooked person, and the fact that he let kill his brothers is very shocking here, because previously, was it 2 episodes ago, episode 5, he mentions to Vic that the city took, the brothers. We didn't know the implication what that meant. I just thought maybe it was like a gang war or something like that, but no, it's actually Penguin. He's the one that, technically killed them by just not, letting them out from the tunnel. So let me stop there. I'll start with you, Cyber. What you thought about the flashback here? Getting more about diving into the Penguin and Mom's relationship and seeing more of the brothers, and finally confirming that their deaths were caused by Penguin. Go ahead, sir.
So this flashback does a great job of giving you kind of the history of how the brothers passed away, giving you kind of that backstory that we've been talking about throughout the season, and giving you finally that closure of what happened to the brothers. Why are they dead? Why they died so young, and kind of the thought process of, kind of the beginning of Oswald becoming the Penguin. And so it's interesting to know that at like 12 years old, he's already contemplated becoming this gangster, this person that wants everything, that wants to be the biggest and baddest. And this gives us that little bit of history, giving you kind of the starting point of where in his life it really started. And because he saw how his mother was struggling, his father not being around, and the fact that she was working for mobsters already, he already had that in his mind, thinking, I got to be a mobster too. So this little beginning portion does a really good job of showing us that, giving us kind of the thought process and showing us exactly what happened to the brothers. Now, the fact that, Oswald is responsible for his brothers' deaths, and I don't think he directly wanted to kill his brothers. He just wanted them out of the way. I think their death, unfortunately, was a, unfortunate occurrence that happened that, he could have controlled, but at the same time, he didn't want to control it. He wanted something to happen. So it's kind of a half and half situation with him, what happened to his brothers. And, that's kind of what they, referred to later on in the episode, him feeling guilty and why he wants to take care of his mother so badly, is to kind of make up for killing his own brothers when he wasn't intending to, but it ended up happening and he ended up being the cause of it. So I think that the beginning is a really strong start. Gives us kind of an idea of where, they're going with the story of Penguin, and kind of where he is at mentally, where we're at in the story. So really great, strong beginning, really enjoyable, and, a really good start to the episode.
Okay. Jeff, pretty much your thoughts on the flashback, the information we got about the brother's death and the Penguin and Mon relation.
I don't really have much to say about the flashback. It was well done. It was a good way to introduce the episode. Good use of a flashback as an introduction of the episode on its own. I thought that it was a good device to launch off into the actual story. Catching us back to the story again. In real time. I enjoyed the flashback, and it just shows you how crooked the Penguin is. He's a crooked motherfucker, like seriously crooked. Like he is a dirty motherfucker. Like he killed his brothers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like in a dirty ass way too. So yeah, that's it.
Yep. Yeah. No. Good boys. Next week, I saw the preview. We're gonna get more flashbacks of this past timeline. By the way, I just want to get kudos to the kid that plays Oz. I thought the kid that played young Oz was really great. I don't know where we see him before, but I thought he was really good. And same thing with the mom. She's another actress I recognize. She's in several films, like she was in Wes Craven, My Soul to Take. If you haven't seen that, she was in the last film that I think, well, maybe not last film, but one of the films of Joel Schumacher called 12. She's a really good actress, so I was surprised she was here playing the young version of Frances, the mom. She was also great. Like, I really believe that those two characters, particularly, they were, the spinning image of those two characters in the present timeline. So anyway, we're back again to the present timeline. This is where we picked up from the last episode. What we know that Sophie knows that the mom is alive, and she has a bar. Very funny that she used a cramp bar. So pretty much, the mom is gone. Vic is unconscious, so Oz arrives in the crown point, seeing pretty much the lights being turned on by the councilman, and you see the soup complexes lighting up. He discovers Vic unconscious. Vic tells her about the mom's gone, and Sophie took her. Upon awakening, Vic forms. Oz hears Maroney and his hitman arrives. Oz forces Victor to leave and probably get more men, like get our army ready. So probably that's the last thing we're going to see Vic. He's trying his best to get the army, maybe, but we'll see. And after this, Oz reluctantly surrender, and Maroney really assaults Oz and takes him alive so that he can face Sophie together, with Penguin. And then at the same time, we see Sophie is taken, for instance, into her mansion. Despite that, Frances is not frightened of her and telling her that Oz will kill her before suffering another dimension episode. By the way, the actress that plays the older mom, really great. I thought the scene between her and Sophie was the highlight of this episode, and it was really cool when her dimension episode really kicked in, because you saw a little bit of her right arm started to twitch, and you right away know that was her episode is coming through, and I thought that was a great scene. But she gets interrupted by Dr. Ross, because Ross informs Sophie that the police are looking to question Gia at the orphan, because she's willing to talk, because she probably realized what happened during the episode 4 events, as she's the only witness in the Falcone's death. So let me stop there. Can't talk now. Jeff, I hope you can hear me here. Sorry about that. Tell me about Oz, discovering his mom gone, and then getting brutally attacked by Maroney and getting forced to take him to the drug shop and all that, and Sophie taking the mom to the mansion, and then getting interrupted with Dr. Ross, and up to the point she telling Dr. Ross that she will take care of Gia. So tell me about that scene.
Yeah, it was good tension building in the episode. Good tension building, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it was good to see Vic for that brief period of time, although he got fucked up, unfortunately. But we didn't really see what happened to him or anything like that, like how he got that blood and all that shit. That would have been nice if they would have actually shown what happened to him. Obviously we don't know where he went. He just disappeared. So I'm really questioning where Vic went. Besides that, I guess the scenes with Penguin's mother and Sophia were good. Seeing Sal again was straight, beating up Penguin and all that shit was dope. Good tension building part of the episode, and overall the story really picked up, really quickly, and the episode really went by really quickly. I thought.
Yeah, I think this is the shortest episode compared to last week, I think. But it's not a big deal. I mean, it's still 50 minutes long, so compared to other shows we're talking about. Cyber, tell me about your thoughts on the coming back from present day with Oz finding out that his mom is gone and getting captured by Maroney, and then of course Sophie taking the mom to the mansion, talking to her, up to the point when Dr. Ross interrupted Sophie about Gia potentially talking to the police. Go ahead.
This is a great section of the episode. This is where it gets right into it. From the moment Penguin arrives at the house to finding, Vic on the floor and, waking him up and saying, "Get out of here. I'll take it from here." And, basically getting, beat up by Maroney, which, Maroney's all mad and stuff like that because of his wife and son. And, that he's just going to go balls to the wall and beating up Oswald because he's so angry and stuff like that. And which was not shocking. We knew that was going to happen. And basically, him saying, you're going to take us to where to find the merchandise to give it back to Sophia. And then you're going to go see Sophia and, she's going to do what we're going to do, what we got to do to kill you, basically. And we get that great moment. And then, basically that leads up to going to see Sophia with the mom, who the woman that plays Penguin's mom. I think she's doing a fantastic job. She's been great portraying somebody that has Lewy body dementia, which is what she's supposed to be having. She's not supposed to have just regular Alzheimer's. She's supposed to have Lewy body dementia, which is actually what Robin Williams supposedly had when he passed away in 2014. And it's a lot more progressive. It's a lot worse version. They kind of misdiagnosed it as Parkinson because of the tremors. So it's very interesting they decided to go with that. If you had watched after the episode, they did the behind the scenes look and they talked about that a little bit. And the showrunner, she said that they decided to go with that because that was a very unknown disease, and they wanted to use a disease that wasn't so commonly used, and they wanted to get more people aware about this disease. So that's why they decided to use it in the Penguin. And I think that, like I said, the actress has been playing the mom, has been doing a great job. I mean, of course, Sophia herself is fantastic, so awesome at her role. And this scene is really interesting at the talking back and forth between Sophia and Penguin's mom is fantastic. And just the contempt that Penguin's mom gives her is on point and perfect. Thinking, "You're nothing, bitch," is basically what she's saying. It's perfect and it works really well. And, that whole conversation leading her to have that episode, and Sophia sees this episode, and I think it really it does shift her mentality of what's going on here, and kind of giving her a forethought of thinking of her own self. And that whole scene plays out so well and so decently. And leading up basically to when the doctor guy pops back up to say about the niece, really well done, really great, portion of the episode. Lots of great action, lots of great dialogue, and just keeps playing the episode out very beautifully. Great portion, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've been watching the behind the scenes of the Penguin. If anyone knows, after the episode's done, you can pretty much skip all the credits and go up to before you see the next episode preview. After that, they do the behind the scenes of the episode they talked about. And obviously, I saw it last night. Yesterday, last night, watching the first time of this episode, and it was really interesting to hear about this disease that is not commonly known. And I really like that they chose that because, and obviously, unfortunately, doctors and in general society sometimes overlook these diseases that are not even related to this other disease that's commonly known. So it was really, I give kudos to the showrunner. That was a really great detail, and one that I also appreciate. If you pay attention before the episode preview, they actually do a really good job of notifying people, support. If you want to know more knowledge about the dementia and the specific disease, they actually give you a link to that. Really nice. When I heard about that was really cool, and it just was so really believable, and plus a really good visual of seeing the hand movement, and everything felt real, and felt like that's how this particular episode can be in real life. So I really appreciate that kind of detail, and it wasn't that forced. Of course, we seen her in it out in her state, and this last 7 episodes, when we see her. Getting back to the episode, so after that scene, we get back to Maroni forcing Oz to take him to the base of operations, and telling the man to pack up, and now that the Gigante and the Maronis are going to take over the Bliss business now, and that belongs to him and Sophie, right? And Oz provokes, so Oz tries, it's classic Oz here. He's very manipulative. He provokes Maroni towards violence. So he has seizing the opportunity for one of his employees to turn off the lights and flee. So chaos is spread, right? Everyone is trying to stop the Maroni henchman. Oz gets pretty much a brawl with Maroni. Before Maroni was probably going to kill Oz, Maroni suddenly dies of a heart attack. And it was so funny. I mean, it's dark funny, because this guy was going to beat up Oz, and he's pretty much dead. And Oz is disappointed at this, not being able to personally kill his rival. You see him venting, towards his enemy here. Is like, come on, Sal. I fucking got you. And I like that they called back that line from the Batman when, he thought he killed the Batman, when you say I got you, you psycho freak. So instead of, PG-13 rating, here you could say it, the F words and all that. And then in a classic mafia thing, he shoots Sal multiple times. So after that, he ramps up his man. He thanks his man for saving his butt, but telling him there's more to come. The storm is coming, so he tells them to get ready and be his army for the moment. Then after that, we see Sophie visiting Gia at the orphanage, and where Gia reveals she found a gas mask in her purse. Oh, okay, purse or I guess so the what's the word, boot bag that that Sophie had, but whatever, and wondering if she killed her family, Sophie. But Sophie, just Penguin, she lies to her. Sophie claims to her innocent and discovers that Gia has been harming herself during her stay, which think about triggering episodes. This orphanage has literally triggered, Sophie's, traumatic state, her time at Arkham Asylum, and pretty much what happened to her, those 10 years. And, after she, tells Gia that her family were bad people who deserved to die, she tells her that she will get a better family, over the Van Clones, and she will grow up as a better person. And so she, the conversation ends. She gets a call from Oz, informing her about Maroni's death, and offers her Maroni's criminal empire as well as his Bliss operation in exchange for his mom's safety return. So let me stop there. Jeff, you're next. Wait, Jeff, you're next, or no? Cyber, you're next. Tell me about your opinion on this section where Maroni forces Oz to take to his operations, and then up to pretty much Sophie getting the call from Penguin that he's gonna give he's offering exchange for Sophie with the safety of the mom. Go ahead.
So great scene, great section of the episode. Really enjoy this sequence. Lots of great action going on. People getting killed real quick there when basically Maroni forces Oz to take him to his underground lair, and during this portion. We get all that action down there, and basically, Penguin saying, "Yeah, you gotta listen" and stuff like that, and him saying, "We're taking over, pack all the shit up and get it ready." I'll let you guys think about this for a second. I know it's weird that we're taking over just a moment here, and he goes for a second, and then he's like, "Yeah, get back to work," type of deal. And this whole time I'm thinking, this is Mr. Krabs talking here. So I'm like thinking to myself, like, yeah, Clancy Brown, you are badass. But at the same time, I'm also thinking Mr. Krabs is doing this too. So just want to throw that out there for you, Clancy Brown. Always thinking of Mr. Krabs with you, sir. And or your bailiff in Shawshank Redemption. And as we go on throughout this, and we get the great action and basically kind of the final kind of battle between Maroni and Oz, and they're fighting, and all of a sudden he stops and he starts holding his arm. You're like, are you fucking kidding me? They have him have a heart attack. I was like, oh my God, this is so stupid. I'm like, oh, why didn't you have the penguin kill him? Like, come on, he dies of a heart attack? Like, and then, Oz goes kind of into a spiel after he has croaked. And, you're supposed to beat me? You're supposed to beat me and stuff like that. And he gets his kind of his frustration out. And, kind of gets things off his chest, kind of what he's saying there. And, are we going to when Sophia goes to see the
yeah.
Okay. And so after kind of that blows over, that's when we go see Sophia, go see her niece, and talks to her, and we get that moment there, kind of where Sophia at first is lying to her, saying, no, I didn't kill him, type of deal. And then she notices that she's self-harming herself and realizes she doesn't want her to end up like her, like what happened with her ending up in Arkham and all this kind of stuff. So she tells her the truth and saying, I did this to make you have a better life, basically kind of justifying what she did, when in reality, no, she just is as bad as her father, but she thinks that this is justifying, her cause. And, that whole thought process of an eye for an eye type of deal. And, finally, tells her that, and basically to help her kind of, relax and figure out that, yes, I did kill your parents, blah, blah, blah. And I wanted you to have a better life, basically. And, and so after that happens, that's kind of when we get finally to the, little section there where Sophia's talking to the starts talking to Oz, and he explains what's happening, and they basically broker a deal. And I'll stop there. So great section, really well done, great action, great writing, great acting by everyone, really great cast, just a really great section. I have to say that the gal that plays the younger version of Penguin's mom, she's gorgeous, and just had to throw that out there.
Yeah, no worries, Cyber. We all had that thought. I mean, she's very hot and beautiful. Anyway, you want to see her, naked or anything like that, go watch Joel Schumacher film 12 2010 film. You'll probably enjoy that. Anyway, off topic. Jeff, my boy, tell me about your thoughts on Roy dying up to Sophie getting the call from the Penguin, sir. Go ahead.
Sale dying with the heart attack didn't bother me. It wasn't really funny, but like it was all right. I mean, it made sense that he had like heart issues or whatever. So, they kept his character true. The stuff with Sophia and the kid really kind of like I zonked out on that. Like I didn't really pay attention to that at all. So like I kind of zonked out during that. So I wasn't really privy to that. But like the psychologist character, the guy that plays the psychologist, I hope he has a bigger role in season 2, or like they keep him in season 2 at least, because I like him. He's a good secondary character, the psychologist guy that works at Arkham. So good stuff. Like everything Cyber said, times 10.
Yeah. So Zell's death, I mean, you could say it's this very unexpected death that you were not expecting. Like Scorsese does this sometimes. Like all of a sudden, like you think your characters was gonna be safe, or they're not gonna get caught or get killed. But then no, they get killed in combat just in such a mundane way instead of like getting killed in like a glory firefight or something like that in like a game war or something like that. Nope, they either have a heart attack or or I mean usually they get popped by trying to loose ends connection and all that, from a heist or something like that, whatever. So I was very sad to see Clayton Brown go, and thank you, Cyber, to just bring up Mr. Krabs now. It's like now I cannot think about like him being so cheap, Mr. Krabs. He's like, I love money, and it's like his big lobster hands. Like, oh god. Anyway, but I gotta say, Clayton Brown, great actor. He's great in Shawshank Redemption. Pen 72, great film. If you haven't seen that, it's very guilty pleasure, but he was great villain there in Pet Cemetery 2. And of course, Shawshank Redemption, as Saber say. So really sad that he's not going to be with us with the Batman stuff, but yeah, I think he did a really good job with this last 7 episodes. Okay, let's get into pretty much the final section here. So Sophie returns to the mansion after the whole Gia thing, orphanage, and here she admits to Ross that she has become delusional about her position after seeing the pain she has caused Gia. So I mean, just like I guess Penguin. Well, I gotta say I disagree with you, Cyber. I think Penguin was happy that he killed his brothers because he really wants affection with his mom, and he did love his brothers, but he has this like I think not social complex. What do you call it? Like this complex thing of like he's the bigger man and like he doesn't need help. Like he can handle himself, as we've seen in this particular episode. Like in the flashback, and where Gia isn't a cold. I mean, she can be a cold killer if necessary, but she's not like her father. And here I think the scene really exemplifies how different she is from the Penguin, but but similar ways. It see here that she after the conversation he had with Penguin, she did accept Oz's deal. However, this is where Dr. Ross has been actually pretty awesome. Actually, a good boyfriend. Actually, I gotta say here, convinces her to follow through her own desire to see Oz suffer. And yeah, Sophie says she wants her to suffer. And so we get that. So after that, we get back to the the Bliss operations. Everyone's getting ready for the drop off of the mom, maybe, right? So Oz gets confirmation from one of his men that Sophie's has an event inside the Oz operations. And she's calling him as well, and something's up. So instead of bringing the mom, first off, the driver leaves, and something is not going as planned. So Oz goes over the car and thinking that maybe his mom's body is in the car. And here's like again, calling for a great actor. You see him coming over and you see him start to tear a little bit in his eyes, when he's opening the door, he's thinking that his mom's body is there, because it's there's a cover, you don't know what's underneath the cover. Really great detail of like Colin Farrell's acting here. And instead of the body, he discovers explosive, and of course hides in the tunnel that his brothers were killed while the bomb detonate, and then destroying the base and killing half his entire crew. His entire crew. And then we cut that out with another flashback here with Oz taking his mom. Francis, the mom, is told Oz to go to a jazz club. They're going to a jazz club where the mom asks Oz to become successful enough to finally provide her happy life. So. And which Oz promises. Cut that out. Back to present day again. Oz recovers from the explosion, resurfaces only to be knocked out by the detective, the Sophie bride to kidnap the Moroni man back in episode 2, if I remember correctly. And that's when the episode ends. So going back to you, Jeff, what's your thoughts on Sophie talking to the Rush up to pretty much the final scene, pretty much this final act for this episode? Go ahead.
It was a solid ending. It paid off the suspense of the episode pretty well. The bombing was really like a genius move on Sophia's part, and keeping the mom alive, it adds more to the tension, build up for the finale, right? More flashback stuff. The mom and the Penguin have like an unhealthy relationship, like they do. They have like a dysfunctional relationship. I thought it was a really great ending to a solid episode.
Good. Cyber, your thoughts on the final piece of episode 7? Go ahead.
So the conclusion of the episode is, really good. Basically we get kind of Sophia saying that she's had a different mind change, and that she just fell right back into her father's trap after she got out of Arkham, and basically is still doing the same thing her father wanted her to do, and that she needs to change and not be that same person. Even just changing her name doesn't do anything. And she basically came to that conclusion after talking to her niece and then talking with Penguin's mother. Both of them, the conversation they had really made her rethink her strategy. And, basically, she tells the doctor that, she's agreed to Penguin's terms. And, he basically says, it's a trap. She's like, yeah, I know. I have my own trick up my sleeve, basically, kind of what she iterates. And so that's when we get the kind of the rendezvous underground with Oswald. And basically she starts talking to him on the phone, and a car pulls up and they're still talking, and doesn't come all the way in. It just stops right there. And at a certain point, and basically they keep talking, and then finally comes in, and then all of a sudden a guy gets out and runs away. And Oz is like, what the fuck's going on here? And, as Sophie keeps talking to something like that, we see her get out of a different car out in the middle of daylight, nowhere near here. And we see his mother. And so then he looks, he starts looking in the car, expecting his dead mother to be in there. And then all of a sudden he opens the back and sees a giant bomb. And he's like, oh shit. And so he starts running, doesn't warn the other guys, unfortunately. Runs and gets back into the same area where his brothers died, and basically as the bomb goes off, he drops down into the cavern below. And then we, once again, like you said, we go back to we do another flashback with him and his mom, and basically him promising that he'll take care of her and to believe in him after she kind of loses it, kind of breaks down. And basically, he keeps reiterating, I got this, Mom. I will take care of you. Don't worry. I will take care of you. Kind of, reiterating that, from 12 years old, Penguin knew what he wanted to do. He knew he wanted to be the top boss of Gotham. And so then we go back to present day, and Oswald gets up and, climbs back out of the thing after the explosion has happened, starts walking outside. And that's when one of Maroni's goons pops up and says, hey, you did survive, and knocks him out. And that's how the episode ends. So, I mean, great ending. I mean, fantastic way to lead into the season finale. Once again, I still can't believe that next week's the season finale, but this was just a freaking amazing episode. Gave you so much to think about, so much fun to listen to and watch. And it just was action packed and just a really well, constructed episode that gave us enough information, but didn't overload us. And also at the same time, it did it smoothly, and you understood it all, and you didn't there wasn't anything you didn't understand. And that's what I loved about it. Great episode. Really well done.
Yes. Totally agree. I'm very sad when next week is going to be our last time together, the three amigos, to discuss this show. As I said before, this has been a great 2024 show after Shogun and the Fallout. So let's get into ratings. In starting with your Cyber, what's your rating for this episode? And yeah, let's
10. 10
Oh,
solid. 10, 10, 10.
10? Okay. Well, fuck this. 10 as well. 10 as well. I don't give a fuck. This is a 10 out of 10 show. Who gives a fuck about this ratings? Jeff, my boy, tell me about your rating.
9.5.
Okay, good. Well, we were trying to be 10, and then we got a 9.5 out of 10. But anyway, who cares? It's still a 10 out of 10 show, folks. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. This was a fun discussion on the Penguin. We're going to come back next week for the finale. Oh, my God. We need to bring some champagne and, something, or drugs and something like that to just celebrate this show one final time. That's right. Go out,
Told you smoke crack, people.
Yes. Just get out of, all of us, three amigos, just get out of here and bam. It's like the party of the century, like 1999. Anyway.
And you can see as he tries the drugs, he's trying to be funny and he's just failing miserably.
Fuck you, motherfucker. Anyway, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for your wonderful listening. Raph, hello. Thank you for being in the comments. Jeff, thank you for being a good person. Cyber, it was great to see you again.
Hey, Raph.
I hope. Yeah, thank you so much for being part of this Penguin. Just want to let you know, I'm good. Maybe I should tell you in text, but yes. Anyway, I'm good for Thursday to do Nosferatu. Just want to say that who cares, life, But yeah, so I'm good on Thursday to do the Nosferatu live stream with you. Okay, so
Okay.
just let you know. Anyway, Jeff, please plug Cyber, and we can get out of here and do the Daryl Dixon.
Well, let's not plug or anything. Let's just get out of here and do Daryl Dixon and get that out of the way since it is the finale and everything. Cyber, it was good to see you, brother. We'll let you go.
All right. Peace.
Take
folks.
care, sir. Have a good day. Have a good night.
You too. Enjoy Daryl Dixon.
Thanks. Yep, there's two of us now. All right.
Back to you, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Let's get it here. Daryl Dixon. So, everyone, as you know, we're talking about Daryl Dixon, season 2, episode 6. So, the finale, season 2 finale. And yeah, I kind of agree with you, Jeff. Just starting right at the bat, I think this was a good finale. I thought it wrapped up everything well for this season. Like, we're going to a different direction for season 3, which is good. I don't think so I have a question. Do you like this finale over the season 1 finale, or you like this more? Tell me.
This is probably better because Carol is in this, So I think this is probably better. This is probably better because Carol's there. Carol's there now.
Yeah. I like the finale for last season. I will say I really enjoyed the new world and environment we're taking Daryl in, Paris and all that. So okay, let's get it out of this way. Daryl and Carol are arguing about which one are going to stay behind, right? And although Daryl convinces Ash to take Laurent to the Commonwealth while on the supply run, you get the French guy Florent and what's his name, Condren, and their new friend Elika. By the way, where does this new friend come from? Like that was the one.
She just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere in this episode. It was funny when I was watching it. Today I was like, who is this character? Is she from the Nest or from Durant's army? I was like, no, she's just a randomly person to make this other character we know from season 1 to be in love with, right? It's like, what? Anyway, this new character, randomly met, are attacked by, I guess, graders or walkers. I try to remember, but like searching for a plane, while we got Jacent, he's ambushing Anna, eventually making a deal to give her the plane and pilot. However, Anna, who remembers Laurent, kindly betrays this lady and leads her into a parking garage full of burners. Really cool, and causing Jacent to lock Anna to be devour by these burners, but not before his agent is bitten. So let me stop there. What do you thought about the opening here? I thought it was good. We had that little dramatic thing about like who's gonna leave behind. We get this new random person like that. I
didn't understand. I didn't understand who that random like new leader of like Janae's group or whatever was. You know what I'm saying? Like, where'd she come from? You know? Like,
so
I'm like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, she's the one that survived last episode, right? Yeah, that's the one that survived last episode. Like, remember when Karan was beating up the soldiers, right? And there was that female soldier survived from his attack because she was moving her hand. It's that one, but I don't know.
Okay, I don't know her name or anything. I don't know her name.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't know her name either. It's just like, I mean, she's such a new character as well. Like she was like part of La Saran, the Nest. She's from the Nest, actually. She's not from Durant's army. She's from the Nest.
Oh, she's from the Nest?
Yes. She was with that guy who wanted, Laurent to be bitten, but he got killed last episode, and so she became the new villain for this like one episode.
Oh, I see. She became the one episode villain.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Besides that, I just thought that was interesting. I was like, I don't know what's going on with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, where this chick come from? Then the other chick out of nowhere came out of nowhere too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And and there was a bunch of shit with her there at the end of the episode too. But some of the stuff with the story of Daryl Dixon has not been done well. Like the one black dude that was with Kudrow, right? I don't even know his name, but he's been around forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't even know his name.
Yeah, it's Fallen. I don't know. It's Fallou, but I mean it's very French, so I don't know what's going on with that. So anyway, let's get back to it. So you got the UN, UN, and this other group that I'm confused what they're from. I guess that's the Durant's, the other people that attacked the racetrack. So Daryl and the French guy, the black guy, and Cardron or Caron. Sorry, Caron, that's his name. Caron. Buy time for Asher Laurent to escape. And of course, joined by Carol.
I call him Kudrow.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good name for Drone. Yeah, it sounds like we're combining the Stephen King Kaju or Cujo into a French way. Anyway, so like Carol joins them to stay behind last minute as well, and then you get this chick, the villain, Decimate. She commits suicide. Okay, so she barely became a villain. Like she's such a weak villain. So
that was lame. That was lame.
Yeah, like why do we need her? Like just use the walkers. Like use the burners. Like the burners is more frightened than her. So I wasn't like sad that she was gone. I was like, yeah, go ahead. So whatever. So yeah, so she died, by her own, cords and whatever. Daryl finally so this is what's so this part is very weak, but this is where I started to like this episode, was Daryl telling the truth about Karan, whatever you want to call him, Mr. C, about his brother. and I really appreciate this scene actually, Jeff. So it was really cool to like at least patch up, that like rivalry that we set up last season. I kind of wish we spent more time in it. That's the thing. We'll get into like final thoughts about the season. I gotta say, like you brought it up, like this season is so weird how they're dealing with their stories. It's like everything's been rushed or like haven't been thought out because of Carol being in the show and finally getting her. Because we all know that initially this show was supposed to be Carol and Daryl's show. So, so he reveals the truth about Michael's death, right? And while the black man, I just call him Mr. F. Mr. F decides to stay in French with this, the new chick, because he has fallen in love with her. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, she's hot. I mean, she's cute. So I'm like, okay, go ahead, do your thing. So, but her, his friends. But the guys, Mr. F's friends, the Scottish couple, Angus and Fernona, let Carol and Daryl and Mr. C attempt to cross England using the what was this, the car channel, which I have been to. It's actually pretty neat. If anyone knows, that's actually like the train takes cars in the train and you go very fast. It's like kind of like a Tokyo train, bullet train. So when we get Carol and Daryl here, right, they encounter the group of dead English soldiers and walkers who, much like of the channel, are a bio something. But anyway, so we get that. What do you thought about this scene with the tunnel and the English soldiers and all that? I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. That was the best part of the episode, was all that stuff that happened in the tunnel. That's when the episode got really interesting. Up until that point, like the whole romantic scene with like the kissing and all that shit, like didn't do anything for me. I was like, what? I was like, where is this coming from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know who this chick is. You know what I mean? Like, why do I care if she's kissing this dude Baloo or whatever? I don't care if they're kissing. Fuck that shit. So like, yeah. I didn't care for that. That I didn't care about that at all. And then besides that, I mean, really, that was pretty much the main thing I wanted to mention. Was I didn't really care. Like, I was like, whatever about that. But then I do have some things to say about the end of the episode in the tunnel, like, and all that. Like after they get messed up from the guano.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're at that point, right? So so everyone gets affected with this, psycho, like hallucinant effects by the bat guano, causes everyone to hallucinate. So we got Mr. C, right, hallucinating Michael, his brother, eventually running off after him after fighting with Daryl, who thought killed Michael as a walker, right? And then you got Carol hallucinating herself as a walker and also her daughter. And then finally helping Carol to like come to terms with her death. It's very neat. I can understand. I mean, they tease about that, throughout the season, but I think they couldn't maybe save that for next season, because I'll get into my final thoughts of this season. I think they should have saved that like whole grief about her daughter next season, because I feel like it was kind of unnecessary for this season. It felt very bloated. And they just didn't have enough time to develop that storyline, because it is neat. I mean, it's her daughter. I know it's been many years since season 2, her death, happened. But, it's always curious if Carol thinks about her daughter, all this time. And then, of course, you get Daryl hallucinating Isabel. I actually like that. I like this hallucination because it was great to see Isabel to come back again, one last time, before we move on for season 3. And she who encourages him to fight, and then we get the really big surprise of the grandfather coming into the hallucination, and then so Daryl is forced to kill the treacherous Angus and Fernona in self-defense. So these two were like another like final battle boss basically for Daryl to kill. Very unnecessary, I gotta say. Like we don't need more villains, really. And then after that, Carol and Daryl put on a gas mask and finally leave France heading for England. And that's our episode. So yeah. So Jeff, we have this episode. What's your thoughts on season 2? And how you rate this episode? Ooh,
I'll rate the episode a 10 out of 10. But again, the underground stuff was good. I didn't understand why Kudrow went crazy. Like, it made no sense how he turned on Daryl and all that shit. And that shit was sense. Like he knew that Daryl didn't kill his brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew that. So the storytelling with that was stupid. That was dumb. Besides that, I just thought it was a really good finale. I liked the flashback stuff with what's her name, Carol's daughter. I liked that, seeing that stuff. That was cool. Daryl was really good in the episode overall. Daryl was really good. I thought he was really solid. Seeing Isabel come back was really cool. I don't know. What did you think of how they made those sparkles show in the air, from where her ghost went? Are they trying to say ghosts are real?
No. I guess it's just the way to see the funkness of the gas entering the people's minds. I don't know if that was a visual thing to show the gas is there or something like that. I don't know. There's no way they're saying ghost is real, because that's gonna go too far. It's gonna be the Walking Ghost Dead universe. It's nope, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just a visual thing that the gas is on the air, right? And you see our characters being affected by the gas. But we'll see. So, yeah. What else? Yeah, I agree with you about the whole the Quran, was it aggressively on Daryl was unnecessary. My thing was those two people that were taking them in the tunnel. Why do we need them to portray them? What was that? Can't we just use the walkers as just the final boss for the final episode? We didn't need those two couples to be the bad guys. I don't know. I don't know. I felt that was.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Those people didn't have to be the bad guys. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, we always had human characters portraying our human characters in The Walking Dead. We've seen that before in The Walking Dead. There's a couple things like that. But sometimes you don't need that. And I just felt we didn't need that for the final tours of the episode, right? So expectantly on next season, so I guess Carol and Daryl are gonna travel to England and probably be stuck in England for the third season. What do you think? Are we gonna get them back to America early in season 3, or you think this is gonna be the new setting for season 3 for this show?
I think it makes sense for them to keep them in Britain. Have them get to England. And have them do season 3 there, and then maybe in season 4 they come back to America, something like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it was really sad to see Paris go. I thought it was a good place to do. In 2 seasons. I gotta say, this season didn't do all that much Paris the first season. That was something I'm very disappointed with the show. That didn't do more Paris stuff the first season. And I this is a good time to discuss. My rating for this episode will be a 9 out of 10. I think it's a good episode, great episode. I don't think it beats last week's episode 5. I think rate this season 2, like in general, season 2, I will rate it a 7 out of 10. I think season 2 was a very weak season. I we had the ones who live, the Rick Michonne show. It was way better. Than this show. I gotta say, like at least that show was fun. It brought back Rick and Michonne really great. That show did a better job of giving us our two main characters than this show did with Daryl and Carol. I gotta say, like I I don't know if it's because they had because the Rick and Michonne show handle so much on the I know we're mixed on the the CRM organization that Rick was there for what 5-6 years whatever was handled way better than this than the whole Ness and like the whole Durant's army I felt like they were rushing to get rid of all this season. Like I don't know why, because I like what they established for first season, and you could have gone for like at least 3 seasons to deal with this side of The Walking Dead. I don't know, like I felt like it was really rushed to just get Carol here and start fresh, and it's like totally unnecessary. I feel like, and that was one of these that was disappointing on this season.
I like how they freed them up now and they're free. They just have to get back to America. I like that like where they're at right now.
Okay. I can see why. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think you could do something with Carol with that saying too. I don't know. I was kind of surprised that they were just killing off and just wrapping up all this in this season. It's like I was just shocked. What else you didn't like about this season that was super up?
I don't really have anything to say about as far as like stuff I didn't like this season. Like, I don't really want to beat this season up.
Yeah.
There's a lot with the story that fell flat from episode to episode. That we saw that we watched it, so we both saw it. And that's pretty much all I'll say. I'm looking forward to watching season 3 when it comes out. They already made it, I think. So
yeah,
it shouldn't take that long for them to put it out. So we'll cover it when it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it was renewed. Like they renewed the season in like last July. This July of 2024. So they've been shooting right now, right? So yeah, we'll see. Yeah. That's our. I don't know when we're gonna get Dead City. Right, like early 2025. So that's gonna be our next, Walking Dead show that we're gonna do for the Monday Report. Later on. But yeah, I gotta say, I think the winner. We had 2 Walking Dead shows this year. Clearly, The Ones Who Live was the big winner here. I think the Rick Michonne was so much better. Had great performances, great production, great storyline. I know that the finale, as you say, Jeff, was kind of rushed of wrapping up the whole the whole CRM thing, but it was still overall satisfying. Where this show, it was very weak, and then as you say before, the story was very flat in a couple episodes, and that was not good. So I have to go with the Ones Who Live for my favorite Walking Dead show for this year.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree with you on that one.
Yeah. So let's just do plugs. I just want to thank you everyone for joining us. It's great to moderate Daryl Dixon. This was really fun.
Let's just get out of here, sir. We don't need to do any plugs or anything. But we'll be back for Agatha Wednesday for Agatha episode 9. Besides that, let's just get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here, folks. As you heard the man, we don't have to do plugs. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Peace.